What's up, guys? My name is LaMarcus. So today I just kind of wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind recently. Being in the field of education, I've ran into a lot of different students and taught a lot of different personalities, demographics of students, levels of interest and ability. And so one of the things that's been really heavy on my mind is the fact that there are a lot of students who discredit the fact that the window between beginning school, especially later grades like high school, entering and then exiting into the real world are pretty much, it happens so fast to the point where a lot of kids' maturity level is forced to warp faster than they're ready to, but life kind of pushes them into a direction. And so one of the things that's really been interesting to watch is that a lot of kids come in with the mindset is an impression, especially 9th and 10th grade, that, I'm still a kid, I have time, I can act like this and kind of still get to where I need to be. And then while having fun and enjoying school is not synonymous with acting up, right? A lot of kids take that as that's everybody has fun, everybody does this. By the time I'm 18 or a senior, everything will just work itself out. When in reality, it's like at some point for every student there's a turning point. Like, for example, I always see from the beginning of 9th grade semester to the second part of 9th grade semester, the kids are totally different, right? Majority of them are totally different. And then there's always like a switch in the class itself where it's kind of like a trickle effect. The kid that everybody's around that kind of starts to like grow up a little bit, that starts to rub off on the next kid and the next kid and the next kid, and kind of moves like that. Then there are always those kids who they're tone setters, so they may be on either sides of the spectrum, so they may have always been kind of straight and narrow as far as getting their work done, being motivated and kind of doing the right thing. And there are those students who, no matter what everybody else is doing, they're always going to be the ringleader of the chaos, whether that be just goofing off or actually doing major things, major disruptions. And so I feel like with those students, right, we have to get those students early, because you have to kind of get to them, single them out, let them know, hey, like, there's nothing wrong with having fun, but they're the leaders. And a lot of us hate to look at it that way, but it's the reality. If a kid is acting out, and a lot of kids, so typically if a kid is acting out, they're looking for attention, all right? Secondly, if the other kids are interested in that or following this, it means that kid has some type of influence. And so as teachers, as educators, as parents, as adults in general, we have to do a better job of channeling that energy from those kids that could potentially be going down the wrong way, channel that to make it positive. You let those kids know, hey, you can get attention however you need it, but let's make that positive attention, right? I'm willing to give any student or any child the attention they need as far as helping with their development, but we can't allow the smallest percentage to dictate the overall group, which is what happens in society typically. And based on the environment, our kids are, everybody sees it. Everybody sees the state of our youth right now. They're just looking for guidance. That's pretty much it. Think about, for so many years we've been on the same internet with the children, right? When we were growing up, right, I would say so the millennial generation and Gen Z, we kind of grew up where there were internet, boundaries. Like, in order to make a profile on MySpace, you had to be a certain age. Well, it wasn't a stringent certain age. Majority of parents didn't allow their kids just to freely have social media. So this kind of created at least some type of accountability. Now, some kids went and snuck and did it. Like, I was one of those kids late where I kind of went and snuck and got a page, but it's not easy to get on the page. I can't sit on the page all day long. There's only small moments of time where I'm actually able to go and check it, right? And so I feel like with those type of expectations from parents to my kid's not gonna really be using this because I'm not gonna really allow them to do it in my presence, that created the extra layer of accountability. And nowadays, that's something that doesn't exist, especially when every kid has access to a smartphone And with the access to a smartphone comes the access to social media. And then now there's no real verifications to get on this. Like, for example, ID me. That's a potential system that could change, that could help change the permissions. So kids aren't getting on it. Like, underage kids should not be on social media. So this is one of those things that, in my opinion, contributes to why a lot of kids are kind of, I guess, growing up too fast. And because in their mind, they're growing up too fast, they can kind of move how they want to move, but not realizing the innocence that they still have. And so I think as teachers, if we're and educators and parents, if we can start to just, the kids who we feel like are most at risk, let's kind of try a different method of, reaching these kids, letting them know, like, hey, you're different, you're special in the way that people follow you and connect to you. And if we start to emphasize those behaviors and those motivations, instead of telling these kids that they're bad and they are this and they're that, we tell them, hey, you're a leader, but we have to lead in the right direction. We have to find ways to help them lead in a positive way. And so that's pretty much it. That's my take on it. Just be that positive role model for the children in your life, the youth in your life, and the adults in your life as well. And so I appreciate you guys listening. If you got any suggestions, you can leave them in the comments. Let me know what you think about this, and talk to you next time.